Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Suraya binti Kassim. In this part, I will talk about the introduction and explain a little bit about the drawing plan. Okay, basically, we are from S&S Construction Company, which provide high quality construction services to a wide range of clients. Besides, we also provide specializing in the construction of purpose-built buildings. In the terms of construction management, we devote specific emphasis on value engineering to achieve cost and usage efficiency. The most important thing, we stick with the visions. Client satisfaction is our main priority in order to maintain our company's achievements, which always be an option. Okay, this is the organization chart participant that involved on this project where Dr. Nurul Hudai Binti Abdullah is our president, Suraya Binti Kassim as Vice President Marketing, Syasya Nurina Binti Mohammad Fadli as Vice President Production, Nura'in Nabilah Binti Mohammad Rijal as Vice President Finance, Era Mashita Binti Amir as Engineer Manager, Sadarina Binti Zamani as Marketing Manager, and the last one is Aziza Binti Hafid as the Capital Manager. Next, this is our drawing plan for this project. Named Teres Tropicana Indah, which is located at Jalan Sri Indah, Shah Alam, Selangor. Here we are required to calculate the bill of quantity of measurement and will upright for this project, but only for the several part at the corner load, which is GB3, GB4A, and the last one is GB5. That's all from me, and I would like to pass this presentation to my group member.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Nura'in and now I will present about bill up rate. So as you can see, there is a jadual kadar harga that we use to calculate the bill of quantity, and the price of of this table is determined by Kementerian Kewangan to be synchronized with other construction work. And for this project, there is a few elements that we refer to this table that related to our calculation, which is menggali tanah untuk tapak konkrit, konkrit tuang di situ bertulang, tertulang untuk konkrit, hardcore, acuan konkrit or formwork, and also tanam tiang besi. And next, I will explain about quantity measurement. Quantity measurement, the first thing that we have to calculate is excavation work. Excavation work is divided into 4 excavation, which is topsoil, surface excavation, pit excavation, and also trench excavation. And for topsoil, for the first step, we have to calculate the length of the beam. And because of length of the beam at x-axis and y-axis is different, we have to calculate in both sides. And then when we got the value, we have to times up and we can get the excavation of topsoil. Next, for the surface excavation, we have to determine the concrete slab, hardcore, and also less topsoil excavation. And then from the value, we times up to get the surface excavation. Next, for the pit excavation, we have to determine lean concrete, pad footing, and stump. And to get the value of pit excavation, and then we times up with 3 divided into 3 value, and we times up to get the calculation. Also, for the pit excavation, we have to deduct the value, which is this deduction is for the soil that we not need to use. And then last, for trench excavation, we have to use again the length of beam and then also height of beam to calculate and times with 2 because we have 2 sides. Next, for the second one, we have to calculate the concrete work. So for the concrete work, this length, we have to refer to the pad footing size, which is we can get from the pad footing drawing plan. And also this length we can get from the column stump drawing plan. For the description, we must write down the grade that we use to calculate the pad footing and also the column stump. Next, for the form work, we must identify the size of the column stump, and this number of 4 is represent the perimeter of the column stump. So we can get the new length that we must calculate to get the form work to size of column stump. And for this length, we can get from the size of pad footing. We times up with 4 because this is the perimeter of the size of pad footing. Alright, we must repeat the step if we have the different size or length in our pad footing or column stump. Next, for the reinforcement in stump, we must identify the length of foundation, length of stump, and length in column. This particular length we can get from the cross-sectional of pad footing drawing plan. And also we must deduct the concrete cover and foundation bar because this particular length we have to calculate in other element. So then when we get the actual length, we must do times up with 4 and 3 because this is the value of the quantity and also the location of the column that we calculate. Next, for the description, we have to write down the diameter steel reinforcement in isolated column sum. So that's all from me. I will pass the presentation to my group member.
So hi and assalamualaikum. My name is Syasya Nurina Binti Mohammad Fadli. So I'm going to continue with the bill of quantity of the reinforcement in pad footing. So for the reinforcement in pad footing, we have to take the length of the column, which is 1.3, and then we have to minus by the concrete cover, which is from the left and right sides. So we'll have to times 2, and then we have to add another 2 bands from the left and right side, which is 0.3, and then we have to minus the concrete cover from the top and bottom. So we got this one, and then the next step is we have to count the number of bar. So for the length is we take this length, so 1.3, and then we have to minus the concrete cover from the left and right side also. And then we got this one, we got 1.220. So we have to divide by 0.25. The 0.25 is from the space between the steel. So we have to round it off by plus 1, and then we got 6. So the next one is we have times 1 because 1 column, and then 2 because 2 bars, and then times 6 because the number of bar is 6. So we got 19.92. So the next one, so this one is 12 mm diameter steel reinforced in the foundation. Okay, for the next one is concrete and ground beam. So for the concrete and ground beam, we have to take the length from the, for this one I'm counting from the x-axis, which is the length is 3.048, and then we have to minus the stump 2 because it is from left and right side, and then half of the stump. So we got this one, and then we have to times 2 because we have 2 beams, and then this is the length times the width, which is 0.125, and then we have to times the length concrete. You got this one. For this one, we're using concrete grade 25. So next one, we also have to times 2 because 2 beams, and then this one is length, width, and also, but this one we're using height, which is 0.4, and we got 0.282, and then this one we're also using the concrete grade. So moving on for the formwork to ground beam. So formwork to ground beam, we have to take 2 because 2 beams, and then another 2 is left and right side, so we have to count the length from this one, so 2.823, and then we got this one. So this one is formwork to ground beam exceeding 125 mm, which is the weight of the beam, and then but not exceeding 400 mm height, so this one is the height. So next is the reinforcement for ground beam. So reinforcement for ground beam, for now I'm counting for the x-axis. So the length is 3.048, and we have to add the stump, and then we have to minus the concrete cover from the left and right side. So you got this one, and then we have to times 2 because it's located at 2 location, and then another 2 is the left and right side. So we got this one. So this is 10 mm diameter steel reinforcement in ground beam. So I'll continue with this one. This one is we're counting for the stirrup. So stirrup is this one we're taking weight of the beam, which is 0.125, and minus the concrete cover times 2 to complete cover because left and right side, and then for the height, and then we're counting for the height, which is 0.4, also minus the concrete cover from the up and bottom, so that's why we have the times 2, and then we total up this amount with this amount, so we got this one. So next we have to add the hooks, which is we have 28 hook times the size of the hooks, which is 0.06, and then we got this one. So for the number of next we have to count for the number of startup, which is, so the length we got from the length of the beam, and then we minus the stump, and so we got this one. So we have to divide by 0.225. 225 is the space in beam, so we got this one. We have to times we have to plus 1 because we want to round it up, so we got 14. So this one is the location at 2 places, so we times 2, so we times 14 from this one, so we got this. So 6 mm diameter reinforcement in startup in ground beam. So for the next one is hardcore. So for the hardcore, we take the length of the beam, and then we have to minus stumps, 2 stumps because left and right side stump, and then we got this one. So for the width, for the width we use the y-axis beam, and then we have to also minus the stump, 2 stump also because left and right side, and then we got this one. So with this amount, to find the hardcore, we have to times the length and width. So the length and width we got the times, and we got this 61625, and then this is for this one we use the 100 meter thick hardcore of clean heartbroken stones obtained off sites. Okay, so for the next one is damp-proof course and concrete pad. So damp-proof course, we use the same one as the hardcore. As a hardcore, we also times the length and the width. So the length and the width, we got this one. So for this one, we're using the polyethylene not less than 1000 gauge. And then the next one is concrete pad. So concrete pad, we have to count the length and width, but also times the lean concrete. So this is the number we obtained, and then 50 meter thick sand laid on the hardcore. So this one we got from the drawing plan. Okay. So for the next one is conclusion. Overall, throughout this project, we have gained a lot of experience, especially in problem solving during the counting process of the build quantity of every element. So other than that, we also learned the technique of reading and understanding the drawing plans. So we also have more deeper understandings with the build out rate of a construction project and the method to measure the quantity measurement of the substructure of this one-story terrace house. So therefore we have counted 3 areas from the drawing plan. So for the outcome from this project is students are able to gain more information and knowledge in more details related to this course, which is contract and estimation. So and also with the help and advice from our lecturer, this project has been successfully completed and perfected. So that's all from us. Thank you.